Hey there, everybody, this is Ray Carcillo for CGR Undertow, and after the positive response from my NES carrying case review, people were wondering how I held my other games. And well, as time went on, I didn't really have a lot of money, and I had a huge collection of Super Nintendo and N64 games. But I didn't want to go out and buy those official carrying cases because they were smaller, they weren't as nicely put together, and they only held 8 games at a time. Then one day my stepdad was cleaning out his basement, and he pulled out this particular case, and as you see here, it's a nice black leather case, and I'm like, Dad, what is that? And he was like, well, this was where I held my 8-track tapes from the 70s. And I'm like, 8-track? What the heck is that? And, then of course we went into this long discussion about music and blah, 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 blah. But what I was most impressed was I kind of realized that the slots in this case perfectly held a Super Nintendo game. And as you see here, I got Star Fox and Mario and one of my personal favorites, the Red Maximum Carnage cartridge, and they all fit perfectly into this 8-track collection. And it's amazing because it holds 24 games. So it's only about twice as big as those old carrying cases, but it holds 3 times as many games, and it holds them pretty perfectly. It's got this nice red felt on the inside. You can see, ooh, red. And it, keeps them safe and protected and dust-free. And it's got this nice little locking mechanism here. You see here, no key. You just push it like that. Pops open. Ta-da! And you got all your games. So I thought this was amazing because here I am struggling. Where am I going to keep all my SNES games? And here it is. And then a couple years later, we're driving along, and again my collection is overflowing. We come to a garage sale. 50 cents, somebody was selling a case exactly like my stepdad's. And you see here what's nice about this one, it's got kind of like an alligator pattern that kind of reminds you of the old NES carrying case a little bit. All nicely, bound leather. You got the carrying handle here and everything, and it's the exact same thing. This one is mostly N64 games, but again, red, like felt inside, and it keeps everything safe. And then you can see here, Turok 2, Seeds of Evil, and its black case from the now defunct Acclaim. Castlevania 64. And a couple of Super Nintendo games carried over here. The X-Men Mutant Apocalypse from Capcom, and Super Return of the Jedi, and a few other Star Fox 64. You can see here, a few of the games that I had early on. And it would end up coming to the point where I would run out of N64. I would have too many N64 games once again, and would need to find another case. But if you're out there, and if you have parents who were, grew up in the 60s and 70s and collected 8-tracks, ask them how they kept their 8-track tapes, because this was a great way to store my old N64 games and my old Super Nintendo games, and it doesn't take up that much space at all. That too, if you're ever at a garage sale, like I said, this one, 50 cents. People are looking to get rid of this stuff. One man's trash, another man's treasure. So for CGR Undertow, as always, I am Ray Carcillo, and go get yourself some 8-track tapes.